Now, I am not good at vacations. I have no hobbies. I work. I'm a worker. I'm a generation that works. That's what I do. Now, I've been to Hawaii 107 times. And Kathy loves Hawaii. And I get her a big room, man. She go in there, she open up the curtains, man. Open up the curtains, and whoo, the wind. And she goes, Jesse, look at the ocean. I go, I seen it. It's water. She said, what is your problem? I said, nothing. You don't know how to relax. I got to find you a hobby. I said, Kathy, you want me to relax? You know what I want to do? And they got this mall she likes called the Ala Moana Mall. Anybody ever been there know what I'm talking about, that Alamo? That third floor, son. Whoo, Jesus. That's where the big money is. She said, I'm going to the Ala Moana Mall. I said, well, I'm going to relax. I closed all the curtains. I closed everything. I ordered room service, and I put on Turner Classic Movies. And I sat there, and I love them old black and white films. I just enjoyed myself. She said, well, I'm going to the mall. Now, you may get mad at me when I said that. As she was about ready to walk out, I said, hey, Kathy. She said, what? I said, try to break me. She said, what? I said, try to break me, because you can't. I got too much seed in the ground. Buy anything you want. Buy anything you see. I don't care. Try to break me. I wasn't nervous about that. My God. Is God your God? Okay, you're not ready for me. Here, let me go over here. My God. All right. Possibility thinking. This was 9 a.m. At 8:30 that night, she calls me. I done watched 5 movies. It was great, man. I just enjoyed myself. Marlon Brando, Cary Grant, all that, and some of the, just great movies. She said, Jesse, you hungry? Yeah. She said, meet me at Bubba Gump's. So I don't rent no car. I get a cab because you got to have a hard time trying to park them cars in Honolulu, Anyway, so I get there, and I'm waiting, man. I'm thinking there are going to be boxes everywhere. I get to the table, and I said, what'd you buy? She said, nothing. I said, Kathy, you've been here 11 and a half hours. She said, you don't understand shopping. You got to scout out the land. She said, well, watch yourself tomorrow when I come back. She had to go. See, women got to see everything. You got to look at everything. 11 and a half hours. But the next day, she did her thing. She couldn't break me. I'm not bragging about that. So good. No. Now, I know that sounds cocky and arrogant. It's possibility thinking. You ever tried to break God? Because you can't. Ephesians 5:1, be ye therefore imitators of God as dear children. So do not accept the humiliating bondage of circumstances. Resignation is the want of spirit. And don't get in bondage to the blessing. See, the problem with the church where you can only have one thing. God said when you have built, in Deuteronomy 8, when you have built beautiful houses. Houses. Not house. Houses. Now, Brother Joseph, that's greed. No, that's Deuteronomy 8. Well, now that's the Old Testament. When I'm the seed of Abraham. You ain't talking me out of this. It makes no difference whether it's spiritual, physical, or financial, or all three. Now, to other people, they think, well, that's crazy, because you're intellectualizing something that's spiritual. And you can't get that. Your intellect is not there. That's why scientists cannot believe in God, because if they don't see it with the Hubble telescope or the James Webb telescope or or quantum mechanics or quantum physics, it can't happen. They don't understand the formula of faith. It's beyond the intellectual activity because it deals with spirit, which causes possibility thinking. See, so I don't get in bondage to the blessing or blessings, if that's what you want. I don't get mad if you got something I don't have. I don't care. I'm glad you got it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I try to do good business in everything I do because I was taught that way. And I want to say this point, and I don't want to preach too long here because I want to flow in the Holy Ghost. Confidence in oneself generates strength. Now, I'm going to say something sound arrogant. Look at me. I believe in myself. I know what I can do. And I know what God can do through me. That's not cockiness. That's not arrogance. That's confidence and assurance. You that are watching online, listen to me. You got to believe in yourself. You know why? Because God does. He believes in you. He chose you. Confidence in oneself generates strength. And it's not a passive state of mind, but an exercise of the will. So when God tells me to do something unbelievable, impossible, he adds this, but it's doable. I'll give you an example. Years and years ago, remember, Kathy, when I went on PTL? I saved and I paid PTL 1 year in advance. God, that was a big thing for me. And the Jim Baker scandal blew up. I was so mad at Jim and Tammy Baker. I was going to go over there and rip her eyelashes off. I was hot. All that year. And that money was like you pull a plug out the bathtub. Oh, down it went. Oh, you on PTL? PTL. I said, Lord. He said, I'm not talking to you until that doesn't bother you no more. Who gave you the money? And I like Tammy's eyelashes. What he said. She learned that from Jan Crouch. Jan wore 2 sets of them. I used to love Jan Crouch. I said, hey, Jan, will you go clean my windshield? Just do that. Ooh, she gets so mad. She goes, Jesse Duplantis, I'm going to beat your brains out. One time she told me I needed a facelift. She said, sit down, we need to talk. And I'm looking at her, she's about this, you know, Jess, you got to get rid of this. I said, you mean you want me to look like you? Oh! Now, the reason why I could talk, I wasn't being critical, we were friends. She said, and she'd go to hug me and say, you got too much powder on, you got powder all over you, Jan. Whoo! But that woman had vision, boy. Oh, buddy, she had vision. Strong behind the camera. Who ran TBN was not Paul. Jan. Now, Paul was brilliant, don't misunderstand me. But Jan ran. When Jan said something, it happened. Remember that time I wanted to buy my own time? Paul said, now, Jesse, we just can't do that. I said, I'm talking to the wrong person. So I went to Nashville. Jan called me. She said, Jess, would you come to Nashville and preach at the Nashville thing? I said, sure, Jan. So she said, you want something to drink? We're about ready to go on. I said, she said, you want to ask me something? I said, Jan, I want to buy my time. When you want to buy it? I said, today. She said, come with me. I walked over to the next door. She picks up the phone. She says, Jesse wants to buy his time. Sell it to him. What time do you want, Jesse? I said, well, the time that I'm on right now on P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California. Now, everyone told me you cannot buy the P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California time because that's the best time. Paul said I couldn't do it. Everybody else said I couldn't do it. And she had it on speaker. She said, do you know who I am? I'm Jan. You want your job? Yeah, Jan. Jesse, when you want to start? I said, next Monday. Done. Before I got home, the contract had come through. I love Jan Crouch. And you know what she told me? Teach these people faith. Teach it, Jesse. Teach it, preach it. And a lot of time when I'd be flowing in the Holy Ghost, I'd feel somebody grabbing me. It was Jan. She had her 2 little grandkids. This before they grew up. She said, follow this man. Look at me. And she'd hold on to me. I said, Jan, turn me loose. She said, I want my grandkids seeing this. And she saw a piece of paper on the ground. She picked it up. Was everything right with her? No. Do you know anybody where everything's right? That's none of my business. That's between God and them. I just made up my mind that God gave me an outlet. And it was a blessing of the Lord. You see, so I didn't worry about the circumstances. Confidence in oneself generates strength. And let me just say this in close. Faith is impressive and seizes upon devout imagination. See, faith starts with imagination. If you really want to learn faith, go with your kids. Because they imagine things, man. That's faith working. You can turn that imagination into living reality. Faith is impressive and seizes upon devout imagination. It gives words and works